If only you get the call up. If only we saw you out and around.
You never know, last minute call up.
Hey guys, Thogden here, and welcome back to Game Week 15 Premier League predictions. I'm absolutely buzzing for it. We're in a different setup because we have a very special guest, professional footballer Ryan Tafazzoli. How are we doing, mate?
I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. Been watching the stuff, absolutely love it, and it's a pleasure to be here, man.
Yeah, I'm excited. Well, we're going to go through... Yeah, go on.
You come to Ryan's, you get a decent brew. That's for sure.
Yeah, got a little Starbucks order in.
Early start.
Yeah, you've got training later, don't you?
I do, yeah, I do. So
the gaffer's not going to be happy that you're doing Prem predictions before.
You're not wrong, especially if you don't win tomorrow.
Sorry, Mr. Gareth. We may be able to get you to 50,000 subscribers, so Gareth Ainsworth, this will be worth it.
Everyone, right now, subscribe to Ryan. 50,000. That is today's goal, yeah?
I think we can.
But we're gonna
no pressure because I did one with Kieran Brown and it got me 10k. So
is that fighting talk?
Aim high, 60,000.
We're going to let you set the like target this time. How many likes? We've got Pro Footballer on. We've come to you. How many do you think we can hit?
If we hit 10k, me and you do a pro YouTuber.
Oh, you're good at linking things. 20,000 likes, and we'll do a professional football challenge. Pro Footballer versus Thoggy Boy.
2,000 likes. I really want it to happen.
Should we get into the first game?
Well, first of all, Ryan, you've got to do better than Chelsea Rory last week. 3 points he got. Shocking, and Haaland wasn't even playing. I got 9 points. You got 10 points there. What's happening this year? Let us start with Nottingham Forest against Brentford. It's 20th against 11th. Forest got smashed by Arsenal last week. Brentford got a point against Wolves.
Yeah.
What do you think about this one, Ryan? It's going to be a tough one to predict this.
It is, but I do think without Ivan Toney for Brentford, they're lacking a little bit up top. He's suspended. Forest at home, they've not been too bad. This is their time now, to make their home ground a little bit of a fortress. I think with a win here,
push for survival.
Yeah.
Does it really make that much difference, home advantage, as a footballer?
Yeah, it's massive. And you know what? I've tried to put my finger on why is this, but I think it's just, the familiarity of the surroundings. You when you rock up at the stadium, you're just used to it. You've got your fans behind you. And it's just evident, isn't it? Like Liverpool at Anfield, how good are they? Well, apart from this season, how good have they been? The stat about Van Dijk never losing at Anfield. It's just, I don't know what it is about. You play at home and you just feel like you've got that little bit extra behind you.
Yeah, and if you don't know, Ryan does his videos, and I feel like Wycombe do have better form at home.
100%. My last 9 games I played at home, I haven't conceded a goal. I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet, but it's just, I'm just trying to show you how home advantage plays such a big role in football.
You mentioned Ivan Toney. Do you think he should go to the World Cup?
100%. I played with Ivan, so I know everything. I know everything about him. I know what he's about. And when you've got, at Peterborough, when
Ivan Toney scored. Remember, you were at centre back, and we were at the game. I think you beat us just. That was a decent old man.
When you've got him on your team, you feel I don't know what it is. It gives you that lift.
Brentford
away from home,
becoming the draw specialists of the league, aren't they, this season? And I think they're going to go there. Brentford will expect to win this, but Forest, it's the sort of game they must win. I'm going to sit on the fence with a 1-1 prediction.
Yeah, I'm going to go 1-1 as well.
I'm going to go 2-1 Forest. I think Brentford will score. I'm going to go 2-1 Forest.
Well, it's different to us, so you're going to gain a lot of points if you get this one right.
Wolverhampton Wanderers against Brighton, and Hove Albion, it's 19th against 8th. Now, these are two teams with contrasting forms, aren't they? Yeah. Wolves, only 6 goals this season, but Ryan, I've got to ask you about one thing. Diego Costa's headbutt. I mean, I'm sure in the day, have you ever seen the red mist like that? Or
do you know what? I think if he's this end of the scale when it comes to being a loose cannon on the pitch, I'm right down here. Like, I've got quite a good control and composure on the pitch, but it's expected, isn't it, from Diego Costa, man? You knew he was going to do something like this.
What's it like on the pitch though? Like when you're playing against someone experienced, you've played against so many strikers. Do they try and get in your ear?
Yeah. Like there are strikers out there who have been around the block and they'll try and wind you up all game, but I just try and see straight through it. I don't actually like to get into beef with strikers. I like to have them on side and talk to them and be friendly, because I feel like if you rile them up, they're more sort of willing to then try and get the better of you.
Who is the fieriest player you've ever come up against?
It was a lad from Southend, Simon Cox. He was trying to get right under my skin.
Was he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if you know him.
What's going wrong with Wolves this season? 6 goals all season, 19th. Can they really go down?
Too safe with their football, aren't they?
Yes.
Too possession based.
Brighton, with De Zerbi, have finally got their first win against Chelsea. What's a more Brighton thing to do? They consistently beat top 6 teams.
When you're a smaller team, when you play against a bigger team, it's your cup final, isn't it? So you just turn up. You're so excited for it. You're motivated.
Especially against Chelsea, right? For Graham Potter leaving, taking Cucurella. 4-1 as well. Serious character. Watch out for Mitoma is my little shout. Played a few games off the bench and he caught my eye. I think De Zerbi's found the best of him. And Trossard, what I see, 7 goals. Everyone's talking about Gabriel Jesus and he's got 4 or 5 goals.
I know.
And Trossard's beating him. and no one's batting an eyelid. I think they're going to win this 2-0. But it's a very Brighton result for Wolves to win 1-0.
I can't see Wolves conceding 2. I'm going to go 1-0.
I think this is going to be a really low-scoring game. I just can't see Wolves scoring at the moment. Wolves 0, Brighton 1.
I think we're going to go for 0-0 there.
Manchester City against Fulham. It is 2nd against 7th. And we've got to start by talking about that Kevin De Bruyne wonder goal. Have you played against KDB?
I have. I played against him last season. We got him in the cup. Frightening. Unbelievable. Every time he gets the ball out of his feet, you're thinking, oh my God, he's going to put it in behind me here.
Really,
or he's going to pick something up, and he did. He scored 6 goals against us.
Oh,
No
my.
way.
6 goals.
I mean, his creativity, the speed of his mind, it's astonishing, isn't it?
Do you know what it is? When he picks the ball up, he knows what to do, and then he executes it every time, doesn't he? Just comes off his right foot, and he finds his man, or sticks it in the bins.
Fulham are the underdogs. What would you give advice of one of their players watching this video? Going City away. They're not expected to come away with any points. What would you say? I'm not sure you're giving good advice because you conceded 6.
But look, do you know what? Do you know what? We're 4-1 down second half, and I thought, all right, 4's respectable. It was like 70 minutes. I thought, just do not concede anymore. But we did. We changed our whole team pretty much. It was just the back 3 that played from the Saturday game, which was in the league. So we made loads of changes.
You rotated for Man City.
We rotated for Man City.
But you made sure you played. You made sure you played.
Yeah, I know. I was lucky.
And what was it like speaking to Pep? Because I got stuck in a hotel lift with Pep, and I was going down to the pool. He was going up to his room because I went down. I had another 20 seconds with him, and we were just talking about Dortmund as a place. And Geezer's a legend, like proper sound, like fancies a chat.
So I'd gone out onto the pitch after the game, and I thought, let me get a little bit for the YouTube, just film the stadium or whatever. And then Pep's come out, and he's about to do his media. And do you know what? This kind of like sums him up as a guy. He's seen me and he's like, all right, mate, look, come over here. Called me over, and I thought, the brilliant content. Gone to film it.
What, he knows you?
Well, I just played in the game, so he'd be like, yeah, after the game. So he was like, how did you find it? Everything's being recorded now. Chatting to Pep, thinking, this video's gonna blow up.
Yeah.
Reviewed the footage. The mic wasn't working.
Oh no!
I need to double check the cameras. You worrying me already?
I've got a question. Going back to Kevin De Bruyne, or someone of that magnitude as a player, how do you, as a player, as a centre back, focus on your game when there's someone that brilliant, someone that famous on the pitch next to you? How do you cope with that?
Luckily for me, he's not directly up against me.
Yeah.
And as a team, we had someone man marking him. And he still did damage in that game. So that's normally what we do. We need to try and like nullify him the whole game, take him out of the game, and focus on everyone else.
How did you deal with Mitrovic when you played him in the Championship?
Handful. Quiet but aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah, aggressive.
Gets on with the job.
He's just a big lumpy, heavy, wins his headers, and that's the worst thing for a centre-back. Losing headers against a striker. You always want to make sure you win your headers.
Especially when you're 6'5".
Yeah.
But you've never faced Haaland.
Never faced Haaland.
Because he might be back. I don't know. You got him on FPL?
Yeah, mate. You can't play FPL.
Well, he's injured.
I think the bravest people get rid of him now and get someone in, yeah.
Let's talk about Fulham for a minute, because last week they drew with Everton, 24 shots, no goals. Did they have any chance away at Man City?
In my opinion, no. I don't think it will be like a heavy defeat because they are in good form, but I do think Man City will still come out on top.
I'm going 3-0 City. Haaland brace. Remember I said that. He's making a comeback.
And I'm just going to say ditto, 3-0 to Man City.
How many Haaland goals?
0, I don't think he'll play.
Pep roulette, isn't it?
Yeah.
What about the young lad midweek who scored in the Champions League?
Mate, that was amazing to see. The right back, Rico Lewis, to score against Sevilla. Especially after they went 1 goal down and he scored the equaliser and they kicked on to win 3-1 against Sevilla. So it's a big story for City, that.
Was that his debut, Thea?
I believe it was.
Yeah. Tell us about your debut.
Cut it in, lovely.
So I don't think it could have gone any worse, right? From what you're telling me, I got sent off.
But you didn't know that.
I didn't even remember I got sent off in my debut.
Talking about debuts, would you think you'll ever make a debut for Iran national team?
I was close. So before we played Sunderland in the playoff final last year, I was on the short list of a 36-man squad or whatever it was, and then we didn't win the game, so they cut me.
No way.
No.
How could they cut you for not winning a game? Surely they.
No, do you know what I think it is? I think if we won, then I'm a championship player again, and it's like, all right, one of the first people to get called up.
But you were rumoured to play, potentially move to Esteghlal, second in Pro League, second biggest club. Their fans are going all over your Instagram. It's a different world out there. Would you ever consider a move abroad?
I could do, maybe later on in my career.
All I can say is if the Iranian Football Association are watching this video, pick Ryan. He's
To be
available.
fair,
He'll do a job for you.
Whilst we're on the topic of the Iran national team, this is quite an interesting topic. The World Cup's coming up. Iran's in the group. England, USA, Wales. How do you think Iran do?
They're good. They just beat Uruguay recently. Suarez played. They've actually got like very good technical players playing the Champions League. Defensively, not the best.
To be fair, they could do with you. Taremi and Azmoun up top as well.
Yeah.
What do you think about like Ukraine wanting to like kick Iran out the World Cup? Do you think surely that's shocking?
Yeah, it's shocking to be fair. It's
all the players.
It's not the players' fault, is it? It's
Yeah.
not the coach's fault. The football fans, they're going to miss out. And Iranian football fans, they
Love it. They die for it.
Yeah,
They probably need it now more than ever.
Yeah, I know. I think it would be good to them. So it'll be a shame. I don't think it will happen though. I think it's too late.
And I can see England drawing 2 of the 3 games. I think England might just win the group, but I think Iran-England will be a 1-1 draw.
Taremi overhead kick against England is called for. Set up by Tafazoli. Oh, but if only you get the call up. If only we saw you out in Iran.
You never know. Last minute call up.
Oh, yeah, maybe there's an injury or something. But you're on the shortlist, clearly. You're in contact.
Yeah, they know of me. Yeah,
Okay,
they're
sick,
taking my
sick,
details.
sick. Make it happen.
Leeds United against Bournemouth. It is 15th against 14th. Now, these are 2 teams trying to avoid relegation. And Leeds last week, who could see that coming? They beat Liverpool at Anfield, Theo.
And they stopped that Anfield record. You mentioned that before, didn't you? Van Dijk
record.
beaten by
Finally come
Jesse
to an
Marsch.
end.
Why does it happen against Leeds?
I don't know. If you look at the game back, I saw a stat saying Melia made 9 saves, the most ever in the Premier League game.
He was astonishing. I even tweeted it. I was watching it down in Montenegro.
In terms of the match, I have a feeling Leeds will nick it. And now they're at home to Bournemouth, and they need to get a big result at Ellen Road. I'm going to go straight to it and say 2-1.
I'm going to go an away win. 2-1 Bournemouth. I think they'll struggle with Kiefer Moore's physicality. He's like Mitrovic with pace and a bit less movement. So he's a
scored a brace
handful.
last game.
I'm going to go 2-1 to Leeds. I think home advantage is the difference here. Everton against Leicester City. It is 12th against 18th. Now, Everton, they've got quite a tidy defence on the sly, haven't they? Another clean sheet last week.
Yeah, first one against Fulham to stop them scoring on their own patch. But it was a 0-0. They look a lot better at scoring goals at home. You saw that 3-0 Palace. Anthony Gordon seems to smash it. Goodison. You bring him away, it's a different player.
Yeah, I think so, especially when you're young. Do you know when you're travelling to away games, you've got to get used to the routine of things, like how do you prepare differently from a home game. And then I think once he gets things clicking a little bit, he'll be all right travelling away from home.
Because you're one of the more experienced players in your club. When you've got someone breaking through onto the scene, everyone's speaking about them. You're the kind of guy in the dressing room to be a bit of a silent leader and just help them if they ever need support, especially on those sort of difficult away trips.
I'd always pull the young lads and say, anything you need,
Yeah.
let me know, I'm here for you. If I see them struggling, get an arm around them, ask them what's up, how can I help. I'm not saying he needs that right now, but he does need to find something when he starts travelling away from home.
Yeah, he's obviously got a lot to learn, hasn't he? But Leicester City this season, they're in the bottom 3. I don't think anyone saw that coming. I mean, the wealth of talent in that Leicester squad, what's gone wrong?
I don't know, but I know that Brendan Rodgers I think he's started to get it clicking a little bit now. If they win this game against Everton, it gives them a little bit of breathing space to go on to level points with them.
Funny thing is though, Dad, you said what's gone wrong. They scored 6 goals and conceded 0 facing Wolves and Leeds, and they only lost 1-0 to City. I honestly believe Leicester are back with Brendan Rodgers. They'll get enough to go to Everton and get a point. I think Harvey Barnes scored 2 goals in the last 3 games. Been really impressed with him to see him recover. I don't think he's got enough in it to be at the World Cup. What do you think?
The competition in that position is just maybe a little bit too much for him.
But James Maddison's got to go, right?
I think he's got to go, yeah. He's got to go. The form he's in, he can't not. What more can he do to get a call up?
You think England can go far? Because you are English as well. You got to remember that. We've been speaking about Iran, but who are you supporting?
Well, it makes more sense for me to support Iran for political reasons when we do play each other, but I do want England to win the World Cup. That'd be brilliant if Iran don't.
I'm going to go for 1-1, but are you going for
I'm going 2-1 Leicester.
Everton 1, Leicester 0. I'm going different.
3 different predictions? I love it.
And now for Chelsea against Arsenal, 6th against 1st. It's a London derby, probably the game of the weekend. And Chelsea in a bit of a mini slump at the moment. 2 points in 3 games there.
You say that, but they won both their Champions League games against Salzburg and Dinamo Zagreb.
Premier League, surely that's priority.
I think the big story, Pierre exactly, is playing Arsenal. How do you think it is going to be for him?
I think he's going to be bang up for it.
But is he good enough? Oh, you're an Arsenal fan?
I'm an Arsenal fan, so I know what he's going to be. He's going to be on this weekend. He's going to be causing problems. Well, I hope he's not, but I think he will be out there to cause us serious problems.
He'll score.
No, I think Saliba will lock him up. I think if we win this weekend at the Bridge, it's a real statement and it sends a message out to the rest of the league that, look, we are actually here. We're the real deal this season and we're pushing for the title.
And psychologically, how will Arsenal approach this? Because you go to Chelsea and maybe in your heads you're thinking, this is a really big team. Does that affect the players?
Because there's so much doubt. Is it a fluke of a start? When are they going to drop off? I feel like it's working in their favour. And they're just going into every game with, look, we've got nothing to lose. Yeah. Let's just go for it.
What's your prediction?
I'm going to go 2-1 to the Gunners.
I love that. You got to back your club.
Shout.
Who's going to score the goals?
Jesus, it's time for him to score. Odegaard.
I'm going to back the Blues, I just think Chelsea will turn up. I think they need the points. They've not picked up too many in the Premier League, like you mentioned. Chelsea to win 2-1.
I think this is going to be a 1-1 draw. I'm not totally convinced by Chelsea at the moment. Aston Villa in 16th against Manchester United in 5th. And Aston Villa absolutely smashed last week. Life without Steven Gerrard. Not too easy for you.
And they've got a new manager now, Unai Emery. How do you think he'll do at Villa?
I think he'll do really well. I liked him at Arsenal. I don't think he was given the right tools to really show what he was about. I think he's got a point to prove in the Prem, and I think he'll do well.
He's got amazing European heritage as a gaffer, but also for Arsenal. He took you to a Europa League final. Yeah. I know you lost to Chelsea. They had Eden Hazard. They had a better team. There's a lot he did for Arsenal, and being the success of Arsene Wenger, it's never an easy job. But will he start with a win? It's United.
But for me as a player, when you look at the fixtures and you see the team that you're about to play have just lost 4-0, absolute drubbing. I hate playing them teams because they need to react. And I do feel like Villa at home, I'm not the biggest fan of the way United have been playing this season. Even when I watched them against West Ham on a weekend, this whole of the second half they were getting battered.
I think Villa have a chance, don't they?
Yeah, but United, despite that, and they are playing badly at times, but they're getting the results.
Do you know what? I'll be the first to give my prediction. I think it's going to be 2-1 United. But hearing you talk as a professional footballer, you're making me think Villa are more of a chance because it is all about that reaction.
I've been very bold today, so I need to start playing it a little bit more safe. I'm going to go 2-1 United.
Okay, same as me.
I think they've got too much up front.
I'm going to go Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 1.
So we've all said United to win by 1 goal.
Well, I'm going to mention Harry Maguire. I'm going to ask about him as a centre-back.
Oh, yeah.
I've defended him over the years. What's your opinion on England and Man United's Harry Maguire?
Should he start for England?
I think he should start, because every time he's played for England, he's done well. I know he had a little bit of a stinker recently. In the cup competitions, he's been one of our best players. You look at the World Cup, you look at the Euros. He obviously has a lot of confidence playing under Gareth Southgate, and I think he's been given way too much stick for my liking.
And you've both got a bit of history breaking through Hull.
Yeah, obviously he come through Hull. Yeah. I played against him a few times.
People love to talk, right, and make jokes about him. But he's actually a top lad. You hear it from players in the dressing room that he is so sound. That's why I think he has to be.
He's not the captain for no reason, is he?
Yeah. Southampton in 17th against Newcastle United in 4th. And we've got to talk about Southampton because, Ryan, 17 years ago, you joined the academy at Southampton.
Was there from 12 until 20. Some of the best years of my life. Absolutely loved it. They come to an end and I moved on.
How difficult is an academy to break through? Because everyone speaks about the 1%.
Yeah, it is so hard. You need to have that little bit of luck as well, I feel, at times.
You went to Concord Rangers, you went to Braintree Town, you proved it through non-league, and then they sometimes bring up the best players.
I feel like once you do get released, I did get a pro there, and then I got released and whatever, and had to drop down the leagues, and you can very easily and quickly find yourself out of the game. When you do drop down, if you don't play, you think, I'm going to sack this in. But I think it's the ones who stick at it, grind it out, believe in themselves, that get back up there.
What's the best way for the Saints going forward? Do you think Hazenhüttl is the right gaffer for the job? There's been a lot of fans that want him to go. Some bad form recently.
I think he'll turn it around. I can't see Southampton getting relegated. I can't see such a club like Southampton being in the Championship this season.
They've got good players. Sven Botman, what a player, right?
I think they've conceded the least goals in the Premier League.
One of the best defence in the Premier League.
Only 65.
They're going for top 4. Why not?
For them to get top 4, I do feel like these are the games that they need to win. Even though Southampton aren't the worst at home, I do think they'll nick this one. I'm going to go 2-0 Newcastle away win. I've been very bold.
The Geordies, no one can stop them right now. They went to Tottenham, they won. Well, I'm going to go for the same. I'm saying 2-0 as well. And I think it's going to be Almiron and Callum Wilson to get the goals.
Callum Wilson, I've said all along what a brilliant buy that was. I think Newcastle win this. I just think they're better than Southampton. Okay, they're better on the home turf. I'm going 2-1 to the Geordies. West Ham United in 13th against Crystal Palace in 10th. It is East London against South London, isn't it? It's going to be a proper tasty London derby.
I think that the most intimidating thing is the atmosphere. If the West Ham fans can get behind them, which they
Not
can
as
do.
Crazy as Upton Park.
The second half performance against United, they were so good. They deserved more out of that game.
West Ham are finding their feet, aren't they? And they're playing a Palace team who do not travel that well. We got to say, last night, Theo, we were at the Bobby Moore Fund dinner. We raised £200,000 for charity. We met a load of West Ham fans.
We made some donations. You tried to get a little...
we made some donations.
You nearly overspent on a little Italian Airbnb.
Oh, it's all for charity, isn't it, Theo?
Yeah.
But my point being that West Ham, I think they're finding their feet. I think they'll win this one 2-1. Although I do have a massive respect for the Palace team.
Played with Jared Bowen, know what he's about.
Oh, yeah?
He's top class, and I think he's going to score this weekend. I'm going to go 2-0 Comfortable win for
Okay.
West Ham.
I'm going 1-0.
And finally, Tottenham Hotspur against Liverpool. It's third against ninth. And Theo, Spurs have had a really good week. And you were in Marseille for that game, weren't you? You looked amazing.
Unbelievable. Everyone was worried for me. They were saying, because Marseille's a bit of a mental place to go, right? Tottenham did so well to deal with the circumstances.
What I thought was clever, Theo, he put on a Marseille shirt. There was no English allowed at the dock.
A last-minute kick of the game winner against Marseille. Is this a healthy way of playing, do you think, as a club, scoring late and conceding first? Because
I don't think it's sustainable.
No, it's
I don't
not.
think it's sustainable, and that's what I think sometimes can be Conte's downfall, Mourinho's downfall. They're just a little bit too defensive.
Darwin Núñez as well. What do you think about him? He's a handful.
Absolute specimen. He's an athlete, by the way. I saw that he broke the Premier League top speed this season, 10.55 meters per second. And we wear our GPS units, so we see our top speeds every training session, every game. 10.55 is incredible.
He's beaten records, and that is what Liverpool do. They do check all the research. They do the numbers. They check everything.
I might have got this prediction wrong. I've gone with a home win, a 2-1 to Spurs. Then I realised Heung-Min Son, he's out, isn't he?
No, Dad, you've had a shocker. Unless Harry Kane carries you, I don't think Spurs are going to win this game. No Kulusevski.
Yeah,
No Richarlison.
I know.
No Heung-min Son.
I think it's going to be one of them games, a big win for Liverpool. Conte's going to come out saying, look, we've not got the resources, making excuses after the game. I'm going to be brave again. I'm only on this show once, so I'm going to go 3-1 to Liverpool.
I've gone Tottenham 1, Liverpool 2. So we've all gone slightly different here. Absolute pleasure to have you on. I will pay your fine for being late to train.
Don't worry, I've still got time.
Absolute legend, man.
And everyone remember the hashtag, take Ryan to the World Cup.
Keep the dream alive. And I know I sometimes see on your timeline you just get absolutely raided by Iranian accounts on Instagram.
I don't understand what they're saying, but I
Constantly have to translate everything. But if we get him to 50,000 subs, he genuinely deserves it.
60,000.
60,000, Dad. Come on, it's not
60,000.
realistic.
Do you know what? It depends on how many subscribers you've got that actually want to improve at football. Anyone that wants to improve at football.
Ooh, that's a good point, because that's what the channel's all
I'm just
about.
interested in match day vlogs.
Match day
behind the
vlogs,
scenes stuff.
because we go from the stands, but to see it from a pitch perspective. Thank you for watching, and all the best to Iran, your YouTube channel. We'll see you in a bit.
Top man.
See ya.
See you guys.